Hey everybody, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, that website address for you, if you don't already know, is theclinicaltrialsguru.com. I've been doing my absolute best trying to get back to all your emails. I appreciate every single email I've been getting. And some of them I'm doing video responses like this one, and some of them I'm writing you back emails because even though I keep you anonymous, some of these questions are so detailed and we have so many people watching now that even if I do a video answer to some of you guys, people will be able to figure out maybe who asked the question. So I definitely don't want to get anyone in trouble. This one, I'll keep this person anonymous. They're not going to get in trouble. That's more of a positive one. But it's basically from a CRA or a monitor, clinical research associate, who is currently working as a CRA for a CRO, which is a clinical research organization, and she got approached, believe it or not, by one of her sites, who happens to be a large SMO. She got approached, and it's a privately held SMO. And for those of you who don't know what an SMO is, check out my interview with Selena Chavanes from Resolve Research Solutions, one of our Clinical Trial Guru producers. You'll find out what a site management organization is. But anyways, this person has been a CRA for 8 to 9 years. She has a background in nursing, so she used to be a coordinator. Now, she's got approached by one of her sites to actually be the chief operating officer and the site director for this clinic. And she's a little nervous. Let me just read you this question. And I'm paraphrasing a lot in the sake of time. I have now been presented with the opportunity to work with a small SMO who's ready to invest in an operations manager to work with their sites. My immediate feelings are nervousness and self-doubt that a little old CRA like me can't possibly be a chief operating officer. I have worked with this site as a CRA for a number of years and love their work environment. However, I am also mindful that sites generally present to a CRO what they think the CRO wants to see and hear. Now let me stop you there. If you've been a CRA for 8 years, okay, yes, sites do put on their best. The research sites put their best foot forward when they know a monitor is coming in. But if you're an experienced monitor, which you are, and you've been working with the site for any number of time, more than a few visits, you would have already picked up on a few things if they didn't have their act together. So it sounds like they do. Now things might be different, and I'm sure things will be different when you become the COO. I guess I'm just nervous about being able to pull this off. I know I have the fundamental knowledge as a CRA, and I know what I need to know from a site level and the basic principles. I know they have the basic foundations there, as I've been working with them for about 6 years. Okay, so you pretty much know what you're getting yourself into. I guess change is the biggest factor that makes me nervous. I'm going from a solid position of being governed by a company's SOPs and procedures to one where I'm going to be creating them and enforcing them. Seems too grown up for me. What would your general advice to me be, and what should my top 5 priorities be when I get there? Alright, so when you get there, I think you should take the job. I mean, it depends how willing for opportunities you are, because it sounds like you're in a stable position, and the last thing I'd want to tell you is to quit your job and join a startup. But it seems like this site's been around for a while. It's a site management organization. They've been around for a while. If you have any appetite for adventure, it sounds like you'd have a lot more fun doing it. I know for myself, I'd much rather work with the SMO and be part of that startup culture than be part of some corporate culture where you're just following SOPs. I'm the type of person who would much rather be building something rather than managing something once it's already been built. So it sounds like if you're that kind of person and you have that appetite for adventure and trying different things, yes, it is scary, but nothing that is good usually comes easy, and nothing that is good is without risk. Opportunities have risks associated with them, and that's not to say that if you stay with your current company that there's no risk. If the economy hits a downturn, you can easily be laid off. I've seen it happen. We've seen it happen here in the industry all too many times. Top 5 priorities be when you get there. make sure everyone's on the same page. As far as the SOPs, if there's no SOPs, you need to do that. You need to get some kind of a training log. You need to establish some platform for regular communications amongst your PIs, sub-Is, and study coordinators and yourself. You need to figure out how many studies you can get in there in any given year, and then set up goals, yearly goals, for meeting these studies, and then enrollment goals. And when you get the studies after the enrollment goals and recruitment goals, you want to make sure that you keep any queries or protocol deviations to a minimum, meaning that your SOPs are, number one, well designed, and number two, more importantly than that, is that they're followed and that your staff are being compliant with them. So it's going to be a lot of training needed from you to your staff, but it seems like with your background, you're the kind of person they want to hire for that. So that would be my top 5 priorities. Definitely number one. There's more than 5, but get the SOPs, get everyone, all the staff on board with training, quarterly training, yearly trainings. Get everyone in the company communicating with each other on a weekly basis, at least have weekly meetings regarding studies. Do the protocol trainings for the studies at these weekly meetings so that everyone is constantly on top of the latest information, especially protocol amendments, specific challenges with the studies. Then make sure your business development pipeline is in order. I don't know if you're going to be in charge of that, but probably. So make sure you have plenty of studies coming up for the future. You don't want to be hiring and investing in staff and then having to let people go because you don't have enough studies. So shameless plug, check out my DVD, How to Get More Clinical Trials for your research company, and also sign up for my webinar, How to Get More Studies, which is coming up soon. And then number 5 is patient recruitment, and also compliance with the protocols and with your SOPs. So for that, my Introduction to Clinical Research DVD and the webinar would be fantastic for you. Another shameless plug. So hopefully this question helps. I say go for it, but then that's me. If your appetite for risk and adventure is not such, don't do it. Stay at your current job. Sounds like you're in a comfortable position, but something tells me that you like this idea and you have an appetite for adventure, and that's why you sent me the email. I say go for it. Special shout out to my Clinical Trial Guru producers, Sarah Elizabeth Siegler, Resolve Research Solutions, Accurate Clinical Trials, Erdhart Clinical Trials, PTNR, Patrick Stone, Darshan Kulkarni, Biopharm Systems, Zymwire, Mozio, South Coast Clinical Trials, Breakthrough Clinical Trials, and St. Paul Medical Research Center in Miami, Florida. Thank you very much, and this is Dan from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Take care.